The movement to legalize marijuana has seen some success, and recreational marijuana is now legal in 18 states. But the spread of false information on social media has somewhat obscured the true effects of legalization.
When I spoke to scientists around the country, every major medical association I talked to, there was such a disconnect between what they were saying and then the public's misperception, which was informed by the industry.
Legalizing marijuana increases use, and this can have staggering health impacts.
Marijuana legalization in California has unleashed a public health disaster.
The most common diagnosis for young people admitted to rehab centers today is for marijuana addiction.
Every day in California, we treat patients with marijuana poisoning. Every day. The number of emergency department visits related to marijuana has gone up by 830% in the past years.
We have a number of different studies that are all coming together to tell us that those who start young in their teens and who use frequently are more likely to see a variety of adverse outcomes.
The incidence of psychiatric diseases, particularly schizophrenia, is higher among chronic users.
Stories I hear from parents of kids who, have unfortunately died by suicide, where their suicide note literally wrote in there that it was because of the marijuana.
Marijuana use is also linked with other drug use.
And there's a direct correlation with increased drug deaths and marijuana deaths.
As people get used to the effects of marijuana, they may look towards stronger drugs.
Let's lace it with a little PCP. Let's put a little LSD in it.
We can no longer turn a blind eye between marijuana and other drugs.
Even traffic safety has changed with legalization.
A few years ago, we did a study at AAA that looked at Washington State, one of the first 2 states to legalize the drug for recreational purposes. And what we found was that the proportion of drivers involved in fatal crashes who had recently used marijuana more than doubled in that year following their change in law. This is a drug that we know, without hesitation, at least doubles crash risk. It does it by impairing driver attention, coordination, and reaction time, among other skills that are very important for safe driving.
Marijuana is also linked to other crimes.
THC was involved with 29% of all homicides, 30% of all illicit drug use.
And I've seen hundreds in the city of kids who were innocent victims of homicides in drug warfare.
We're getting reports now in states like Colorado where children in the 4th grade are now dealing the drug.
And indeed, it is the beginning step to a life of crime.
We should have science, not deep-pocketed investors guiding marijuana policy.